The Business Hub with EACS.com. Effective IT for business.
So we welcome to the show Duane Plant and William Hogg of the Cambridge Family Law Practice. Good morning to you, gents.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for joining us on the show. Appreciate you coming in. What would you normally be doing on a Sunday morning then, Duane?
Hopefully reading the papers and listening to the Business Hub.
Great answer. and William?
I'd be on my horse.
On the horse?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Wow. Okay. Well, no, we'll let you off for
I don't listen
that.
to anything I'm doing.
Yeah, it must be difficult listening to the Business Hub whilst on a horse. So, do you go very far afield on the horse?
We just go across fields and
Canter around.
and
Yeah. Oh, great stuff.
play cowboy and Indian.
It never ceases to amaze me, actually, that you're the first horse rider that we've had on the show. We've had frisbee players, we've had all sorts of stuff, haven't we, happening on a Sunday morning? It's very interesting. Right, gentlemen, on a more serious note, you're here to talk about law, really, and in a way, we've been trying to get you on for ages because we often get quite a lot of legal questions that come through the website. Very difficult, obviously, for us to answer, and it needs people of your calibre to help us through it. So appreciate your time today. It does seem, and I know it's a bit of a sweeping statement, but it does seem that businesses get legal wrong a heck of a lot. Is that fair?
Sometimes, I think businesses are becoming more canny, particularly in these recent times, in order to try and resolve their disputes in more constructive, better ways that are quicker and cheaper and more effective.
This can be a very, very time-consuming, labour-intensive, soul-destroying, and very financially costly time for a business as well. Why do you feel that companies put themselves in these positions, though, where they're not well enough sort of educated to cope with this kind of thing?
I'm not sure I said not well enough educated. I think it starts from the inception of the business to the end of the business. There are various points in a business where you can have a dispute. It might be when you're starting up and doing a partnership agreement. It might be when someone's leaving the business, an exit strategy. And I think emotions run high, performances are affected. And at that stage, I think it's really hard to make good decisions. And you may well know what you should be doing, but when it's an emotional decision, like succession, you're a business with a father and two sons, and you want to then pass that on, but you can't actually let go of the reins. And that's something where there has to be another way of dealing with it than running off to some lawyers who then write to each other and say, my client's right and your client's wrong. There has to be a better way. And we try and practice mediation, which we think is a better way of dealing with disputes.
Okay,
I agree with William. We've certainly dealt with some internal business disputes that are as volatile and full of emotion as any acrimonious divorce that you might read in the tabloids. And so I think people get hooked on the past conflict and the rights and wrongs and points of principle, and then lose sight of the wood for the trees as to what prices are they paying themselves for this, such as their health and so on, as well as what health is being damaged in the life of the business.
Now, we ask all of our guests on the show whether they're able to deliver us 3 pearls of wisdom that people listening to this, particularly this part of the show, can take away with them and either think about, act on, or maybe something that might help them if they are currently going through, trauma such as the kinds of things that you deal with. I guess between you it's 1.5 each.
I'll give you 1.5 straight away.
Go for it.
Let's just simply look after yourself. And I see clients all the time that are more worried about their surroundings, what's going on, who's doing what to whom, and they lose weight. They lose their health. They don't even eat properly. And often I'll say to a client, who's looking after you? And no one is.
Yeah.
And that's really sad, and I think that's worth 1.5 points.
I would agree. Duane, another 1.5?
That's a bit like the airline analogy when they tell you when the oxygen masks are going to come down, you sort your own out first and then your children.
Yeah.
And I think actually you need to look after yourself, as William says, then you can look after your business. So I would echo that and try and add a half of something that struck me from Rob Parsons' book, who's a terrific motivational speaker on business matters, called The Heart of Success, having it all in business without losing it in life. Yeah. And he says we're all so used to making every minute count that actually if you do have a few spare moments or minutes where nobody's trying to contact you, just go kick the leaves, just go look at the sky and do nothing, and make sure you don't miss things like reading your children a bedtime story.
Yeah, great stuff. Great advice as well. Thank you very much for that. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure to have you in the building with us this morning, so thank you very much for your time and your expertise. If people want to get in touch with you, of course, you're contactable at the Cambridge Family Law Practice, and I understand also, Duane, that you're involved in the Cambridge Law Society as well.
Yes, Cambridge and District Law Society, and so you can always find a local solicitor specialising in things like mediation or different areas of business law on their website of www.camslawsoc.co.uk.
Fantastic. And just finally, is there anything I can do to stop Ian wearing his scarf during the summer months? It turns up at the Business Hub studios every week wearing a scarf come rain, shine or heat wave. Surely there must be a legal angle on
You
that.
probably need a lawyer to get an injunction.
Injunction. That's a great word.
Although I think it's a lovely image of him having the tag hanging out saying 100% acrylic, which sums it all up, I think.
Duane Plant, William Hogg, thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Thank you.
That was really enjoyable. We spent some time on the Business Hub. We're really impressed with the quality of their programmes and have listened to them for some time now. And we feel really privileged to be involved in all this. Really good experience.
Yeah, and Mark and Ian, they provide a good, fun, relaxed atmosphere, but giving serious, pertinent business advice and tips and guidance, as well as this fantastic social networking they develop with all their podcasts as well as the radio programme, so that the Business Hub is really building a business community that really works locally and benefits local businesses.
The Business Hub with EACS.com. Effective IT for business.